It's Jersey Watch.
Hi, King Shinobe. How are you?
Yeah, what's going on? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great, man. Chilling, living the life. I feel blessed.
So I heard it was your birthday today. You're celebrating your birthday.
I am.
How old are you exactly, King Shinobi?
I'm just turning 39 today.
Oh, congratulations. So I remember one of our conversations we were having in the past, and you had mentioned your age. Tell me what's that like being, seasoned in the game and still being able to make decent music that all generations, pretty much bop to. Like we love your music. So tell me how that is to be able to be as seasoned as you are and to have music that everyone can relate to.
It's surprisingly it's not really a big deal. I mean, my music kind of speaks for itself. So, when people find out my age, it's kind of just like, oh, all right, well, usually the response is like, well, I know you've been around, so you really talking about that, what you got saying. But a lot of the younger artists like to, look towards me for like guidance and direction sometimes as far as like scheme wise and wordplay, things of that nature. But I just look at it as, I got time. I had time to marinate these flows and mature a little bit. But I'm still a young rookie in the game, so it's not really. Well, I keep saying I'm a rookie, but I guess now I got a little bit of something under my belt. But I still feel like a young boy in this game.
That's dope when you can, you know, at the end of the day, have a career and still be able to pour more into yourself. Like I like to say, like when people are artists, I can appreciate an artist who takes the time out to still consider themselves a student, even though they have been seasoned in the industry for a while.
Hmm.
Like being in this industry, you're constantly learning new things. There's constantly new people contributing to this art, and you're always going to be learning. So
Right.
kudos to that. Now let's talk about when you discovered your passion for music. I want to talk about that, and then when did you decide to enter in the music industry?
Wow. I mean, I've always had a passion for music. Ever since I can remember. My earliest memories is over music. It's like a soundtrack of my life. But as far as hip hop wise, I mean, I really didn't start doing music until like my mid teens. I started like writing poems and it turned into like rhymes. You know what I mean? But I didn't really take it serious. It was just something to do. I learned from my brother used to rhyme, so I learned off of him. And then just being around life, I just wrote what I saw. I was writing poems for the ladies back in the day before we had like social media and all that. So but then when I really started taking it serious was probably about good 3-4 years ago. I got back into the game. A couple friends of mine had a studio, my boy Doughboy. We did a couple sessions and it was history after that. I got that passion back for being in the studio and making good music that I have people, good energy. So it was a wrap from there. I just started working back on my craft because like I said, I've been away for a while. So just living life, experiencing life, um, and just living on that side. And then I got back into the musical side, and it was a perfect fit. I was ready to go. I just needed to shape, my craft and get back into the essence of this new style, because a lot has changed, since the last time I was really, getting into studios and making music. So
Okay, so I did some research on you, and I seen your Instagram bio says from Jersey to Atlanta to I think it was Baltimore and then to Jersey. Can you explain that and how that affected your career to travel up and down the East Coast? What did that take some type of toll on your music career?
nah, it probably more than anything helped shape it. I got a chance to see different environments, different experiences, um, different vibes. You know what I mean? Like the different cultures. Going to Baltimore, I got to see the hard working mentality, the real like you know, I thought my hood was the worst hood, you know, but I got to see a lot of different sides of other ghettos and hoods from around the country. It made me appreciate some things. It made me understand some of the ways the world works. That I moved to Atlanta, you know, I got to see how the South works. I got to see segregation up close in person, you know, modern day slavery. And these experiences, you know, helped shape me. I moved back home with, you know, a whole different mindset.
When you say modern day slavery or segregation in Atlanta at that time, explain what that was like for you.
Well, coming from up north, you know, I consider myself a city boy, and this was like right before Atlanta blew. This was like real early 2000s before it really blew up as like one of the hip hop meccas, and right before social media really took off. So it was still a lot of things going on down there that people thought wasn't still happening, but you know, kind of was. You know, racism, things of that nature, which they still are happening, but you know, it's not as prominent as it was back then when it wasn't a lot of recording and camera work. So, but it was just a shock. You know, I felt like being in the 2000s, and you know what I mean. Like we would have got past some of them things, but it just showed me that um, things is real, man. Like you can't just, you know, you think just because it's things are new and times are new that things couldn't be still happening. But it was an eye opener. It made me appreciate my blackness. Um, it showed me that, you know, we still had a ways to go. We needed more leaders to step up. We needed more vocal support, and I took that with me.
So, in your music, how could you say that that experience has it motivated your music in any type of way?
Yeah, it makes me I like to talk about black wealth, being the king, promoting royalty and excellence among ourselves, not falling the victims to the system and to the segregated cultures that we get put into nowadays. Um, Even though I understand a lot of times some people don't have a choice. We grew up in cultures and situations where, you know, we got to fend for ourselves. And I've been there and I know what it's like. But at the same time, I want people to know that there is another side, you know, and as long as you take it upon yourself to find your purpose in life and, you know, to boss up and level up on your own behalf and strive for greatness, can't nobody hold you back. And you can blur those lines, whereas though, you know, money talks, you know, realistically, you know, no matter where your background is, if you make it to the point where, you know, you can control your own business, you can control your own destiny, then those people at the top got to start listening, and that can open up doors and paths for the people that are coming behind it. So, you know, by any means, you know, you got to get your bag and make sure that we're secure. So that's where I'm coming from.
That's some good advice and definitely something to consider, especially being artists in, you know, like where I'm from, crime, you know, we constantly get contributed for the crime and drugs and things of that nature. Being brought up in such an environment, you would think that, you know, becoming successful or establishing yourself professionally is almost impossible. But there are people who, you know, do have stories to tell that have made it and have done it. Now, I know that you also had some run-ins with the law yourself, and without going into deep with it, tell me how that helped mold you into who you were then and how you are now as an artist. What are some things that you picked up along the way and learned from that you could possibly drop gems to other artists who may have that similar backing?
First of all, I found out that everything ain't for everybody. We all watched those Scarface movies. We watched the Good Godfathers and the Goodfellas, and we think, you know, you could just walk outside, go grab something, and all of a sudden it's New Jack City. Um, you see some things in the game. You experience some things that you might not otherwise, and it shapes you. It makes you. It puts a little coldness on your heart, but my thing personally, I figured out that I had the hustler's mentality, but I was thinking outside of the box. Like it, doing little petty crimes and stuff like that. It was like the end game of it wasn't great enough for me. So my advice to people, if you're thinking about being in the street life, or if you may have a foot in the door, you know what I mean. Even if you're successful, because I know a lot of people that's been successful. I've been successful on certain things that I've happened to done that wasn't the greatest, but it all boils down to uh, the worth. Like you're risking your freedom. You got family, you got kids to worry about, also your life. And at the bottom line, if you can't make an investment in the long term for whereas though you can cash out, unless you got a secret stash for when you come home or something, you know what I mean? Like you wasting time, because you could be putting that effort into something else. If you got the time and the effort to be out there on the corner or to be plotting and planning on something, you know what I mean? You could use that to be an entrepreneur. And that's what I want people to understand. Like that mentality that we have, you could use that in a positive manner, and you could turn your life around and the people around you. Just don't give up. You know what I mean? We all fall down, we get put in situations, everybody hit rock bottom, you know what I mean? But where we from, we tend to get hit harder and more often. But you got to keep believing in yourself, because even if your friends and family give up on you, you got to keep believing. That's the main goal. Keep believing and stay true to your plan. Facts.
Mm. So yeah, definitely having belief in yourself to know that you have purpose. You have purpose to do and to be whatever you can put your mind to. It just takes a little bit more effort to do the things that are long lasting. It doesn't take that much effort to cop a lick on somebody or to get money the fast way. It don't take that much effort. But when you actually sit down and you evaluate your worth, how much you could contribute to the world, your worth, and the overall outweigh of, is this thing going to help me be a better person? Is this thing going to help me grow as a better person? What are you getting out of, the things that we contribute ourselves to? So that's the overall good lesson
Right.
that, I see that you've learned through your journey of becoming an artist, outweighing, is this worth me losing all this hard work that I've put in overall?
That's something that a lot of artists got to learn.
Yeah.
There's plenty of situations going on right now. I don't want to say nobody names, but it's a lot of, major artists that keep getting caught up in situations, and you just look like, why are they in them situations? Why would they even put themselves in? It's too risky. Like you're risking losing everything, man. You know what I mean? Like you got to know, when it's time to be business minded, and when it's time to just chill. But when you got a platform, you got to stay on point 24/7, because these people out here that's just looking to come up off you easy.
Seen while you were in Atlanta, you were a part of a trio called the Tri-State Villains. If you want to talk a little bit about that and just overall the
Yeah,
experience of being
yeah.
younger and having that experience in music, what was that like for you?
Damn, the Tri-State Villains, TSV, baby. Yeah, shout out to the gang, man. Streets, Case, Sleepy, TJ, Star. Hey, man, that was a great time. So I moved to Atlanta when I was in high school, and I didn't know anybody. I was kind of like, I used to visit down there every now and then. My aunt lived down there, but I didn't really know anybody in school. So, back then everybody clicked up with their own little groups or whatever. The athletes, the nerds, or whatever, the cool kids. I didn't know nobody, so I had ended up grouping up with a couple people that was considered from out of town. My man's was from New York, a couple people was from Connecticut, uh, you know, other part Boston. And we just kind of we formed a little group, and then out that group, my homeboy TJ, me and him kind of linked up, and we was like brothers, you know what I mean? And me and his family got real close. I ended up staying with him and his family for a while, and his cousins is like my brothers, and we formed a little group. They already started the group. It's called Tri-State Villains, because they had Connecticut, uh, New York, and Boston, but they was all living in Atlanta. And then when I came into the group, the guy from Boston had just moved away, so it went from the Boston to Jersey. So we formed up the Tri-State Villains, and you know what I mean. We was popping. You know, we was making little mixtapes. We had our little studio in the garage. Um, we had a little neighborhood buzzing. You know what I mean. We had fans. Um, we was talking to a couple people. We signed a little bootleg contract and everything. Like, you know what I mean. It was a good experience though. Like, it showed me how to move with a collective unit. It showed me how to make like music from scratch. I was producing my own beats. I was recording my own, all my music, editing, mixing, everything. It wasn't the best, but at a young age, I was learning how to be an entrepreneur and like not having to have anybody do anything for me. But yeah, man, then I moved away back up north, but we still cool, man. All the gang, we still stay in touch, man. That's my brothers. Like, all right, whenever I go down there, we link up. I was down there last year and I linked up with the gang, man. That's my fam. So, I'm still a tri-state villain.
Wow, that's dope. You've been doing this. Like, this isn't something new. This talent that you have isn't something that's just emerging. Like, you've been taking the time to develop yourself as an artist and to, produce the music that you're producing now. It took some time to do. So let's get right into it. You just released your album, Crown, and it has been doing so successful. A lot of it's the buzz, it's the talk. A lot of people have been talking about this King Shinobe album. I myself, am blown away by the work that's on there. If you can talk about that process of putting that album together, how did that come about? What was that like working on such a piece like this?
I mean, it was just a combination of, a lot of work. I felt as though at the time, like I said, I was transitioning my flow, my style, trying to think ahead, figure out where the game is going, and just put together some good quality music. And at the time, I felt as though I was at my peak performance, and as the king, what's at the top of the king is the crown. This was just like, the peak performance that you get from the king at the time. It was a really unique experience to go through. I was experimenting with a whole bunch of different sounds. The album has 16 songs on it, but I really made about 100 songs, and each one was different. It had different styles, different vibes. I had mad features. I had crazy different stuff I tried out, and we boiled it down to a good, 25, 20 songs, slimmed it down to 16 and put out, this little mini motion picture right here. I feel like it's a little bit of something for everybody, whether you grew up in the 90s, the 80s, the 2000s, the 2010s, you're going to feel something on this album. It's just, it's life. It's a part of me. It's a part of all the experience that I've been through, all the places I've been through. And it's good music. Like I said, it's good quality music.
I'm really big on somebody taking, what they've been able to pick up from life and just from learning from others and put it all into an album. When I hear you say that you had 100 songs and you tweeted and picked 16 out of that 100 songs, that must have been a process for you. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Oh,
and
man.
how long and
nights.
What was the process of picking the right song for this album?
Long nights. It was long nights, long A and B tracks. It was, calling up friends. Hey, man, listen to these two songs. Tell me which one you think is best. And then even when they say the one that I don't like, I'm like, well, what about this one? You sure? Like, it's like trying to pick. It's like somebody asking you which one of your kids is the favorite. You know what I mean? Like, and one of them has to go and one of them has to stay. It's like, so it really was it was a long, hard process, but at the end of the day, I feel good about the songs that I put out on the album. And actually, you're the first one that I'm telling. I'm actually putting out later on this year. I'm going to put out a deluxe album that's going to have some of those other songs that was a real tough decision to leaving out on the album. So we're going to put out a deluxe album. It'll probably be an extra 5 or 6 songs on there that I want people to hear. That it's a couple more features and just some behind the scenes work.
Wow. So a Jersey Watch exclusive.
Crown, the gold edition.
The gold edition. We absolutely love it here at Jersey Watch when artists bring the exclusives here because it means so much to us, sharing that moment because we know that you guys put so much into what you guys are doing. So we really appreciate that. Now, let's talk about a lot of people's favorite song, Body Bag. Now, you have been doing extremely well as far as the numbers that it's been hitting and just the overall acceptance of that song. Let's talk a little bit about Body Bag. Let's talk about the creative process behind it. What's the narrative that you want your listeners to feel when listening to that? And what's your own narrative of what that song is trying to interpret?
Well, I mean, Body Bag is just like, it's one of them things where as soon as you hear it, even for the intro, when it come on, it's just like you hear some dude snapping, even if you ain't even paying attention, you just like catch you off guard, like, whoa, something about to go down. You know what I mean? Like, boy, sound like it's ready to go down. And then when the beat drop, you know what I mean? It got that sinister feel to it. So when I heard it, it just was like it stood out to me as like a call out. It was saying to the other artists around me at the time, like, look, y'all better take notice. It's the king season. It's time for me to come in here and collect this body, which is my bag. I'm ready to get it. And if y'all standing in the way, y'all might want to watch out because I got some things going on here. And I had to showcase, my lyrical prowess, the flow. It's just, it's a real dope song. It got the energy through the roof. A lot of people that hit me told me they like to work out to it. It's crazy. Sometimes, it's stressful right now, man. There's a lot of things going on in life. People out here trying to start wars and all the COVID and everything. And sometimes you just want to go home and scream. And, we need songs like this where you could just go home and work it out your system and get loose and you know what I mean, get it out. Instead of being out here all crazy, you could live it through the music. So I put out Body Bag as like a little mini mafia soundtrack for people. And they've been responding well. And I appreciate it from all the fans.
I don't think that I have heard a song that, resonates like Body Bag resonates for me. The song, the wordplay of it all it's just dope. Like when I listen to it, it's like, okay, you can either look at it this way. He coming out with a body bag. Is he gonna kill somebody? No, let me go deeper into the song. Oh, he getting so much money that you gotta fit it in a body bag. That's what he okay, so wow, like this is what he and like the overall wordplay that you do when you're writing your music, it's just dope. It's a dope experience. I like to have tracks where I can pause it, look at the lyrics, read them, and then try to figure it out. It's like a puzzle. You don't want to give so much to your fans because then they won't, look deeper into your music. You want them to be able to look at the lyrics and discover what it is you're talking about. You want to have that lingo that you and your fans can resonate and connect to. So I appreciate that you keep that art alive of, that English literature that goes with writing music, writing poetry, because poetry and rap are two and the same. So I appreciate that artistry that you had. Last weekend, I had the privilege to going to your album release party and seeing you perform Your
going crazy.
entire album, you had guest performances there. It
It
was
was
just an
nuts.
over the top dope experience. I loved it. I love the energy. Your energy when you're performing is so animated. And that's like, because like
Yeah, it was
it
nuts.
takes a lot for people to sit and watch somebody rap 16 whole tracks and then have their guests come and then rap their own music. Like, but when you do it, it's like I'm gonna sit here and watch the whole thing. All I need me is a bag of chips and a bottle of water. What's up? But I can sit and watch you the
Yeah,
whole night. Your energy is so turned, and I think that was the overall energy in the whole entire event. You know, everyone was definitely appreciative of that art they was getting. They definitely came to see what they wanted, and you definitely gave them a show. Now, what was that night like for you? You know, we had so many dope Camden artists in the building all at once. And let me be honest, that's something that's hard to pull off. Like,
yeah.
I haven't seen an event that was able to pull so many artists. Like the picture that we took together, so dope, amazing. That picture just showed the overall unity that Camden has, that Jersey has. Like South Jersey, we've
And
been
they
in the
came out the
shadows
city
for some
too.
time.
Yeah,
And
they came all
you
across the bridge. Yeah.
yeah, you brought us out on Saturday. So talk about your album release party. How did you feel, dedicating yourself to your fans, to your supporters? What was that night like for you?
Man, it was crazy. I, I was soaking up the experience, man. Like I was locked in. Um, I was enjoying myself. Like you said, the other artists came and they helped put on a show. Um, Everybody had a nice chill vibe. It almost felt like one of them MTV unplugged joints from back in the day. Like all I needed was a bar stool. I could have just rocked out. But it was dope, man. Like I felt very appreciated. I felt like the album was a success. I felt like everybody enjoyed themselves. Um, I gave max energy. Um, I was out there sweating up a storm. I could have probably did it one. I could have probably did it again from the top. I could have did a whole nother release, but I had that much energy that night. I was wild, but yeah, it was dope, man. It was like a music video. It was like a 16-song music video, and everybody was in there rocking with me. Um, I just loved it, man. I'll never forget it. It was one of the best nights I ever had in my life, for real.
Wow. The work that you have been putting in was definitely evident through your energy, through your dedication, through your sweating. You were over exerting yourself and to the max. You were going to the max for your supporters and your fans. And we definitely appreciate that. That was definitely an exclusive and dope time for Jersey Watch to experience. So thank you for inviting us out. Now we're going to get right into it and show your video Body Bag. Dope video, dope concept. It really shows you as an artist, your creative ideas really came into play with this video. Do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about the video? What was it like to make such a project? How was it working with Wayne Campbell, a very successful videographer for all the artists in Camden? What was it like working with him? And yeah, let's just talk about that.
Yeah, man, Wayne, my guy, man. He pretty much do just about all my videos. We a team. It was crazy, man. Like it's hard to catch him nowadays. Like you said, he real busy. He moving around a lot. So I had to catch him on his way back up here from Atlanta, and I told him, I'm like, I got an idea, man. Like my song is buzzing, and we need to do something special. And I just so happened to be watching Belly at the time, and I was looking at the beginning, and I was like, man, I need to make us like an opening scene, something that stick out. Like everybody remember that opening scene from Belly. You know what I mean? They walk into the club and it's just a spectacle. So I'm like, if we could do something like that, that'll stand out, you know what I mean? And just make it like a movie and just have the whole atmosphere of where I've been at for the last year or some change, you know what I mean? Like bring that part of my life and let people really see, you know, when I'm performing, just like the, you know, it's kind of like the nature of the song. When I'm performing, I'm killing it. So I'm out here getting that body bag, you know what I mean? So it's real life. We made it like, you know, it's a movie, and that's exactly what the video is. It's crazy. It's a lot of energy. I got all my peoples, my artists that come out and rock out with me, and members, my Jersey family, and it's dope. It's just it's a day in the life of the king when we come out and step out and the gang's around. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody safe. It's a body bag.
I want you to get this fuck. I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his head.
Yeah.
I love you, Bobby.
Yeah. I'm the plug and I just touched down. Feeling like a bird in a booth right now. I just get a word, nigga, shoot right now. Said I'm smoking back to back, guess I'm too high now. Niggas coming for my neck like a noose right now. I got money and respect, the power moves right now. He was ducking smoke, well he goose right now. Chain rocky like the squirrel with the moose right now, nigga. Yeah, flames on me like a pyro. Damn. Gang with me like I'm Pyro. You ain't got a clue what I get into. Got fans in Japan like I'm Ryu. Nigga tryna turn a triple beam to triple platinum. Got her on the triple beam, now she triple nasty. Cousin on the second strike, he want triple action. Money dirty, I'ma flip it like a pissy mattress. Yeah, this a body bag. Put a price on his head, now I got the bag. Yeah, it ain't nice where I stay, it's a lot of bad. Yeah, get your baby kidnapped, want the body back. Yeah, this a body bag. This a body bag. Yeah, put a price on his head, now I got the bag. Yeah, it ain't nice where I stay, it's a lot of bad. Yeah, get your baby kidnapped, want the body back. Yeah, this a body bag. You niggas throwing smoke, you an edible. Shots catchy, man, it's cabbage, he a vegetable. I'm too high for these niggas like a pedestal. Bad bitch, black and white, call her Betty Boop. All black, long strap, like I'm Blade, nigga. Yeah, I'm faded, but we can shoot the fade, nigga. Niggas had to make it out of nothing like slaves, nigga. Said I started from the bottom like Drake, nigga. I just caught a body, but your bitch gave up the face, nigga. Split it down the middle, now she twisted like a braid, nigga. This shit for my niggas in the trenches like a grave, nigga. I get to the money every day, solid made, nigga. Get your baby kidnapped while they take a nap. And if the money good, maybe you could take it back. I've been on fire since I stepped in, ankle strap. Bullets like holes, when I hit you, best you fade to black. Yeah, this a body bag. Put a price on his head, now I got the bag. Yeah, it ain't nice where I stay, it's a lot of bad. Yeah, get your baby kidnapped, want the body back. Yeah, this a body bag. This a body bag. Yeah, put a price on his head, now I got the bag. Yeah, it ain't nice where I stay, it's a lot of bad. Yeah, get your baby kidnapped, want the body back. Yeah, this a body bag.
Wow, that was such a movie. Body bag. You know, overall, the energy in the video, the whole production as a whole, you know, you being at members only is a shout out to, you know, your family that you have over there. Overall experience, dope. I loved it. I love that project. So before we go, is there any advice you would like to give independent artists who watch to pick up gems? We want them to pick up gems and to be able to use them for their own journey to success in their own careers. Is there some word of advice before we go that you would like to give our subscribers?
Yeah, man. First of all, you know, if you trying to get into this industry, make sure that you study the game. Realize, you know, who's came before you, and what made them successful. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Understand that it's a music side and a business side, and you got to be prepared to learn both of them. So, Don't just go into it thinking just because you could rap good, everything else will fall into place. You got to put in work, no matter, if you're the best lyricist in the world or if you can barely string together a couple lines. That hard work will pay off more than anything. So just keep grinding and study.
A lot of people, they don't understand how much work goes behind having a talent. Like, nowadays it's just like you got to learn. You got to be like your own manager before you kind of step out there in a sense, because you really don't want anyone taking advantage of you. People will see a talent and they'll immediately try to figure out, how can I make money off this person? You got to learn the books. You got to do your research before trying to be an artist. Study those who have done it. Study the accounts of those who are doing it, what they're saying about what the experience is. How do you prepare yourself for something like this? Because once it starts, it can't stop. Once you stop, it's going to take a lot of time to try to pick it up and, put it back together. So when you got that momentum, keep it going, keep the fire going. Your momentum has definitely rocketed off. And now, we've been able to see, your creative success that you're having now is an overall, lesson to those who are watching you to, keep a focused mind. Now, King, where can your fans and supporters follow you so that they can keep updates on your music, on that Crown Gold album, deluxe album, and other updates such as performances?
You can follow me on Instagram at king_Shinobe. You can also follow me on YouTube, where you can see all my videos, the body bag video, Crown with Mayor Pesos, Freshie with Fresco. A lot of the songs that's on the album are on YouTube. I'm on all major platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music, Deezer. You can Shazam me, Google me. And if you go on my my Instagram account, I got my LinkedIn app where you can go to all my pages on one app. It'll give you all my information. You can find me on Jersey Watch. I got a couple articles on there. So I'm around.
We would like to thank King Shinobe for coming on today and talking with me, giving us some gems that our NJ Indies can use to help promote their career and to give them knowledge along the way. King, we want to thank you, and we want to say keep going, keep doing what you're doing, stay the course, and you'll always have your supporters, because of the hard work that you put in. We'll continue to stay updated on your success.
Thank you.